Yo, what's going on, guys? Your boy VD here, back on the Madden 16, and today I got you guys some nice crispy gameplay with the Elgato HD60. It got in today, I installed it, configured it, it's all good and ready, so hopefully this looks a lot better for you guys. I know the mic is still a little bit messed up, I'm currently working on it, I can't really figure out the best settings for it. Doing my best, gonna watch a few guides, hopefully maybe figure this out. So we're gonna break down another few plays out of the Iform Pro. It's more running plays. If you guys haven't seen the other plays, the other running plays and the throwing plays, I strongly suggest you do. I keep all of the stuff like this in playlists on the channel, so definitely click on the channel, check out the playlist. I also broke down the single back tight slots and the gun bunch week. They're all broken down, they're all done already. Now it's just the Iform Pro, so I strongly suggest you guys go check those out. And the Iform Pro is out of the Carolina Panthers playbook. I do all of them, actually. All of them are Carolina Panthers offensive playbook. I want to try and get a bunch of formations done. Maybe release a little ebook, said that about 1,000 times. But without further ado, let's jump into this. So we're going to come on the Iform Pro, and we're mainly looking at two plays right here. It's going to be the fullback fake flip, the fullback fake halfback flip, and the fullback dive. So before I even show you guys any plays, I just want to basically explain that the Iform Pro is really more of a run-heavy formation, and it really just revolves around confusing your opponent. And what I mean by that is giving them the same look, but running the ball different ways with different people and with different blocking techniques, such as staying home and blocking the person in front of you, or running out and pulling, but making the left guard pull over to the right. And I explain that a little bit more in more videos, so I don't really, in the previous videos in the formation, so I'm not really going to go too far in the depth. If you're interested, go check it out. But basically, I'm just going to explain how I really confuse them. So what I like to do is make substitutions. You hit RB or R1, and you're going to be in here in your substitution playlist, or your substitution list. As you can see, right now we have Zach Ertz at fullback, and we can actually substitute DeMarco Murray in there. And DeMarco Murray is clearly the better runner between the two, and Zach Ertz is clearly the better blocker between the two. And with that, you really have a big advantage. And with that, I mean, with fullback dive, you're going to be able to run the fullback dive, obviously more effective with DeMarco Murray. And if you want to run something like the halfback toss, you're clearly going to be, running the halfback toss more effectively with a better blocker to seal the edge, so Zach Ertz would be better there. Having said that, your opponent knows this as well, and that's why this is good to throw your opponent off guard. Because whenever you come out in an I formation with DeMarco Murray as your fullback, people are going to think that you're going to fullback dive it, especially if that's what you're going to do. If you come out in I formation and you sub into DeMarco Murray every time you run a fullback dive, people are going to assume you're going to run the fullback dive every time. And I'm actually going to show you guys, I'm going to run the fullback dive a few times out of any play on defense. I don't really care, because I'm going to show you guys that the fullback dive by itself, even without attempting to confuse your opponent, is just a very overpowered play in general. I don't really know any base plays that you could run to really stop this consistently. It's just that good. Like, if you watch like Madden Invitationals, you'll see people just abusing the shit out of this fullback dive, because there really just isn't a very consistent way to stop it, especially in stock coverage this year, without selling out to it. So I'm just gonna run it one more time. I'm gonna show, like you guys have seen, like I'm averaging like 5 to 6 yards, except for whenever you get a spin away like that. I'm averaging about 5 to 6 yards alone, just doing the fullback dive, just over and over again against the computer. But that's without them selling out to it. But if you're going to run the fullback dive that much, people are going to start run committing it, and they're going to start blitzing their middle linebackers in an attempt to stop it, which is great. We don't care. And I'll explain, and I'll show you guys that right now, actually, because if we run the fullback dive with DeMarco Murray, we can come out and fake, or a fullback fake halfback flip. And it's going to be the same exact look, and in fact, they're actually going to pretend to hand it off to the fullback, and then they're going to flip it to the halfback. And I'm going to pause it and show you guys that Julius Peppers actually bit towards the fullback and left the edge completely open. So you're going to see that right there, number 56, Julius Peppers is going to wait, because he thinks at first it's a toss. He sees Ryan Matthews run to the outside, thinks it's a toss. But then he sees DeMarco Murray running, and he is trying to play the fullback dive at that point. But little does he know, Bradford is holding it and then pitching it to the outside to Ryan Matthews, and we're going to get a nice little gain out of it, which is great, because if you're going to run the fullback dive over and over again with DeMarco Murray, you're going to have people that are going to start blitzing their middle linebackers above and start run committing middle, and you're going to come out in a play like this, just like that, and you're going to be able to easily hit the edge. We're actually going to get tackled down. but you're going to be able to confuse your opponents very well doing this. So you can mix up the two very well. It just keep changing your personnel, you know. Just because DeMarco Murray is the best person to run fullback dive with, it doesn't mean that you can't run it with Zach Ertz. It won't be as good. You're not going to be able to. You're not going to have as good as a chance of breaking off tackles as you do with DeMarco Murray, but it's still going to be effective. And nonetheless, you might be able to pull a run commit to the left, to the strong side, which is to the right side right now. You might be able to pull a run commit because people are going to think that you're tossing it because Zach Ertz is just a better run blocker than he is a ball carrier. So that's really what I mean by confusing your opponent, guys. So definitely keep that in mind whenever you use the scheme. So if you guys like the video, give it a like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter. It's going to be down in the description below. And as always, peace.